into my podcast where we're healing from family ties, trauma, and taking accountability for all areas of our lives that may have held us back. I am excited for you. I'm glad that you're here. If this is your first time, you have not viewed my first 8 episodes, I would appreciate if you view those. I hope that they are a light to you. And if you are continuing to watch me, I'm glad that you're here. I appreciate you and I thank you. So today is Friday. It's finally Free Friday. And this week we was healing from unforgiveness. And I hope that the things that I was stating was helping you. And I hope that you continue on this process and you know that there's steps that you need to take to the healing process. You know what I mean? And I hope that for me, that being this vessel, that you see the light, that you see me trying, and that I'm staying committed. You know what we talked about in our staying committed video. I just hope that, you know, you continue and know that you're worth this fight. It's a fight, it's tough, and we got this. All right, so like I said, this week, I apologize. We are healing from unforgiveness and we're finally free on this Friday. For me, I would like to say in unforgiveness and letting go my trauma, letting go the different stages in my life that I was, you know, holding myself in, or people was just there in my trauma or causing my trauma or was the cause. And forgiving them was extremely hard for me. And forgiving them was something that I did not want to do because I felt like they didn't deserve that kind of step in my life. Forgiveness is a step. And forgiveness is a negative thing that is in your heart towards another person. And now this person is sitting in your heart. This person is sitting in your mind. This person is sitting in your... When I say they're sitting in your mind, they have a place in your spirit, in your energy, in your flesh. And you don't want to let that person go. And I'm here to tell you that it's well worth letting it go. And it's worth that freedom. Like, it's worth you healing. It's worth you giving them the key to unlock from your life. Like, you need to unlock them because they are locked in on you. Like, you have this focus on them and they are not deserving of your focus. Like, people, for me, I was focused on the unforgiveness part. So now if I'm focused on not forgiving them, now I'm focused on what they're doing, where they are, how they're acting. I'm focused on them. How are you focused on someone that hurt you? You know what I mean? How are you focused on someone that does not benefit you or benefit the steps that you need to take to get to the end? How are you focused on that? I'm talking to me. I can be talking to you, but how would I progress? Or how would I move forward if I'm focused on this trauma, if I'm focused on this Cineblock? I love using that. I love using Cineblock. Like, how am I focused on this block in my life that does not benefit me? It is blocking it, you know? And how would I be free of something if I'm not taking the proper steps to forgive? And unforgiveness, for me, this is a hard subject because I'm like, I cannot possibly let this person go. I cannot possibly let this relationship go. I cannot possibly... Are you hearing my story? Are you hearing what I'm saying that he said or she said to me? Are you hearing in those dark places I was by myself? Are you hearing my story? How can I forget that? How can I forgive this person? Are you hearing that in my trauma, I could not function some nights? In my trauma, I could not sleep. In my trauma, I was sobbing. How can I move on from that? If I was in it and nobody was helping me get out of it, everybody was content with the pain. Even if they was in the pain with me, we weren't content. So how can I forgive this individual if he or she was content dealing with my trauma alongside with me, dealing with my trauma along however long you were dealing with that type of trauma? That could be abuse, like I said, physical abuse, mental abuse, or just broken family or broken relationship. How can I forgive someone? How can I bring a light? How can I uncover it? How can I see it? In forgiveness and letting them go for me, but they didn't let the trauma go for them, but letting the trauma go for me. Yes, we're gonna forgive them. Yes, we're gonna work through this. Yes, we're gonna be free. Yes. Why? Because you can no longer be content in pain. It's not serving you. It's not serving me. You know what I mean? Like, when you are content with holding a grudge, and when you're content with holding your trauma, we already know what that looks like. That looks like you're depressed. That looks like you're holding back. And that looks like we're not getting to the person that we know we can be. You know what I mean? Like, we are not in a place where this person is off of me. This person is not, does not have control over me anymore. Control over my anger, control over my emotions, control over my steps. Are you hearing me? Like, this person doesn't have control. And you know what? Someone asked me, so when you forgive somebody, and I said, yeah, are you the same person? I'm like, what do you mean? Are you doing the same things? Like, you let go of that person, you forgive that person, but are you still doing the actions that you were doing when you were in pain? You no longer, that person no longer inside of you because you forgive them and you moved on, but are you still doing the same things? And for me, yes, I was. In toxic relationships, if I forgave somebody in something, I was still in a cycle of toxicity. You know, I was toxic myself, and I'm growing from that. And I was angry myself, and I'm growing from that. And I was envious myself, but I'm growing from that. But when I was in my forgiving stage and forgiving certain people, yeah, I was still in the same place where I couldn't let go of the girl that was moving in life, if that makes sense. I couldn't fathom letting her go because she was super fun. You see that? Fun. It wasn't fun. It wasn't who I needed to be. It wasn't who I was made to be, if that makes sense. So when I forgave someone and I was in that unforgiving point, that girl was just driven to success, which is not bad. She was driven to success in relationship, or success in professionalism, or success in friendships. But in all honesty, that looks good. Like, okay, what's wrong with that? But I still had this envious attitude attached to me. You understand what I'm saying? I still had this jealousy attached to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm being authentic right now. I still had, you know, the grief attached to me, or I had the anger attached to me, or I had the toxicity attached to me. You know what I mean? Like, I forgive that person, but everything that person caused me is still attached to me. Like, the person is not there anymore. I'm good on that person, but everything that person has attached to me from them, I wanted to live in that because that was fun. Like I was driving off of that, and I had to grow out of it. I had to change my mindset to a peace mindset. You know what I mean? Like I had to change my mindset and say, you know what? I'm not going to be in jealousy. I'm not going to be in grief, because I was in this grieving process. Like, okay, do I let her go because, you know, it seems as though I'm having so much fun? Or, you know, I was in this anger process. Like, I'm really letting this person get away with what they caused me. Do I really let this go? Do I really let this girl that seems so strong go? Yes, because it's going to be continued cycles, and it's going to be continuing trauma, but just in a different phase. So now I have to forgive someone else. That is another lesson and another cycle that will not end. You cannot be the same person. Forgive that person for this trauma. Be still in that trauma, because it's still going to be attached to you. It's just going to be a different face. It's going to be the same spirit. Something's going to be in that person that you need to learn. You know, when people be like, some people are in your life for seasons and lessons and reasons. I was getting my reason. I was getting my lesson. I was getting things that I was supposed to have been letting go. I was supposed to be letting go of that person. I'm supposed to forgive that person, myself as well, that was attached to the trauma, and let her go. I hope that you're following me on this and this makes sense, because we cannot be in the same mind frame or have the same reasons in trauma that you're supposed to let go. You hearing me? Because your reasons and your lessons are not the same when you growing. I really hope this makes sense. Like, when you are in a certain trauma and you forget and you're forgiving yourself, that person, and you're trying to let go of unforgiveness, you have to have a new state of mind. You have to have a new picture, and your frame has to be intact and unbreakable, because your old you is going to be hungry for the new you. Like, I need to destroy this because I don't want to grow out of it. So that question, yes, I was still the same person. I forget the individual, but I was still the same. I was still broken. I was still envious. I was still just trash to myself. You know what I mean? And I was just not functioning in a new way. I was not healing. I was not breaking myself apart, because you had to break yourself. You had to, for me, I had to break myself, fix myself, and really realize the kind of life that you want, the kind of healing that you want, you're not going to get it if you're not focused on the brighter things. You're not going to get it if you're not focused on the new you, on the future you. You're not going to get it if you didn't break your momentum, break those toxic steps, break that anger, break that cinder block. You know what I mean? Like, and in the breaking point, you're going to be upset with yourself. Because once you start talking to yourself like, ooh, did I say this? Ooh, did he say this? Ooh, she said that to me. And when you're speaking in therapy and you're speaking in your coaching sessions, or you're speaking through, you know, speaking to your mentor, whoever is helping you in the steps, because you need somebody to help you. And you really realize that, okay, I'm in this place where I cannot function anymore. And they were like, well, how about, why can't you function? And you say why you can't function. And for me, I couldn't function because this person is attached to me. I can't function because This trauma is attached to me. I can't function because what I'm going to say on my podcast, it's not registering to me because I didn't let go of this person. I would not be able to speak on any of these things if I didn't forgive somebody. You know what I mean? And in my coaching, it's like, when are you going to let go? When are you going to be able to talk about this? When are you going to be able to cry about it? When are you going to be able to write about it? And it's like, I did not want to that wasn't my plan. My plan was always envy. My plan was like, let me make a game plan so this person can see my pain, or this person can feel my pain. And to tell you, babe, it's not going to be, they're not going to feel anything because they have moved on. And it's time for you to take the steps and be better and push yourself. Give yourself grace. Talk to yourself and tell self, we are breaking the old me apart. And now we're building ourselves back up. You know what I mean? Like, I needed that outlook. I needed that place where I'm like, okay, I'm good. Okay, I forgive you. And unforgiveness was just eating me up. And how do I feel about that? I felt like in my unforgiveness stage, like I felt like I needed this thing off of me. I needed unforgiveness off of me. I needed to be like, okay, God, please take this. Allow me to forgive. And just guide me through the steps to help me. And I will do the work. Just keep pushing me. But I'm going to do some work. We have to do work. We can't ask God, hey, can you do this? And no work is being done. Like, me working is me talking to you. Me working is me trying to be a light to you. Me working is me doing this. Me saying what I'm saying to you and saying to myself, because I'm talking to myself as well. This is me pushing for a better life. I asked God for something. Now I'm putting in the work to do it. And He's just a strength to me. And I'm just a vessel to bring the light to you. It's not an easy process. But when you're in unforgiveness, you cannot be like, okay, I'm angry at you. I'm not going to forgive you. You're not going to have a light. Nothing positive is going to be attached to you. You're still going to be, why am I so sad? Why am I weeping? Why am I crying? Because you didn't let go of that person. I was always sad, always crying, always weeping in the middle of the floor because I did not want to let go. I didn't want to let go of the relationships that was supposed to provide for me. I didn't want to let go of the relationship that was supposed to love me. I didn't want to let go of a relationship that was supposed to protect me. I didn't want to let go of a situation that was supposed to guide me. I didn't want to let go of people that was supposed to push me. You know what I mean? I didn't want to let go of trauma that brought this podcast up. Because we're healing from that. This is something that was created from pain. This was something that was created from unforgiveness. This was something that was created out of envy. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I was in those places. I was in this anger place. I was in this envy place. I was in this trauma place. And it was controlling. But now I have to release it. You know what I mean? And like I say all the time, 3 days, you're not going to be healed in 3 days. You're not going to be whole in 3 days. I'm not whole. I'm not, we are healing from that. So we are taking steps and we are pushing forward. You know what I mean? So in unforgiveness, and when you're finally free on this Friday, and we are finally realizing that, okay, for unforgiveness is controlling me. Don't let anything control you, because unforgiveness was a controlling game for me. And there was levels where I was on a level 3,000. because I didn't want to forgive anybody. And in level 3000, you know, I was still learning stuff from high school. I was still in cycles from high school in my adult years that I have not let go or I have not learned. I was still functioning as a little girl. I'm supposed to let go of lessons that I was supposed to learn in elementary school. I was supposed to change my mind. I was supposed to change my growth. I was supposed to change my steps. I was supposed to change everything about me. But since I want to hold on to something that happened to me, and since I don't want to forgive, babe, we can continue on this journey if you like. The person inside of me was like, this is fun. This is good. I don't care. And I'm like, yeah, I care. Yeah, I'm gonna let go of this person, and we're gonna heal, and we're gonna push forward. And you're gonna heal, and you're gonna push forward, and you're gonna forgive that person. It's gonna take steps. You might be in level 4000. I'm not sure, but don't let someone be inside of you. Don't let someone be in your spirit, in your mind, and in control of your narrative. You have to let go. You have to forgive. You have to be a better person for your future self. That future self is waiting for you. That growth is waiting for you. That one step to the better you is forgiving that person. And I know you want to hold on. I know you want to be angry. I know you want to let them suffer, but you're not going to get anything out of it. But you're still going to continue, and you're still going to be in the same cycles. And we are free on a Friday. And I hope that this helps someone. And I hope that you continue on this process with me on We're Healing From That podcast, where we're healing from, again, family ties, trauma, and taking accountability. Take that accountability, learn from yourself, take the proper steps, and let go unforgiveness. I will see you in the next video. Bye.